Hello and welcome to another episode of the Flubcast. This week we're going to be reviewing two games. The first one is the semi-final between Northerns and Harvards, and what an epic game it was. Next we'll be doing Roy Leons versus Caribs, and of course the winners of both are going to be meeting in 2 weeks for the final of the knockout. Exciting times in our fraternity. And of course, next weekend is the Bruno Brown. So we hope to see you all out there. Please come support, give your ideas. We're going to have lots of fun. I'm trying to get Blossom to come and tape the game. I'll post that as well. And word on the street is, of course, that the final, that knockout final, is going to be taped and maybe even live streamed for people across the world. So very excited. Before I begin, I want to just do a little quick housekeeping of one or two issues that might have arisen that I should just touch base on. During the Harvards versus Northern's games, we had an interesting scenario where the ref called something on the field and it was a try. The conversion happened and we were running back, and the assistant referee came on and made a call and said, look, she thought maybe it was a forward pass or the player was offside, and we went back to it. Okay, and after at the water break, I walked across because I was doing the touch judging on the other side, and I tried to have a word with the assistant ref there, and I just said, look, this is a little bit of a dangerous precedent, and I'll explain why. All season, because we don't have assistant referees that are mic'd to the referee in the middle, so we really have worked it where the referee in the middle is making the calls, and the assistant refs, even though they would like to chime in, they would really just be saying when the ball is out of bounds, maybe helping set the offside line for line outs and scrums, and really just conversions. We've never really had where the assistant ref is interjecting, because there's no real ability to do that without being mic'd up. So when that play happened, unfortunately, and we allowed the assistant ref to communicate their input, what happened from that point forward is that the team was screaming at that assistant ref, because we're seeing, the referee isn't able to see everything, but we're seeing little punch-ups on the ground, we're seeing offsides, we're seeing hands in the rock. And everybody is screaming, well, can't you see that, can't you see? And the person was able to see, but you have no way to communicate. And of course, that gets everybody there like, well, how could you make a call for a try, but you can't when somebody is having an infringement? So we just have to make sure that we're all on the same page. So we say, are assistant refs allowed to make calls? Are they not? If not, what are the rules? Because you don't want to ruin these amazing fixtures with that kind of thing. Whatever is decided, no problem. I'm not even saying the person made the wrong call. It's just something that we just want to consider. So that's the end of housekeeping there. Let's get to what we actually want to talk about. An unbelievable game between Northerns and Harvards. Northerns pulled it off around 30-14 after an incredible game. So I actually made a bunch of notes about how to do it, and I wanted to basically go play by play. But a lot of people are saying, Flub, we really don't want to hear every single thing that happened. Just give us the main points. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you the 10 main points from each team, and then the players of the game. So congratulations. So I want to just start by talking about Harvard's there. And I just want to say congratulations to Harvard. You had a rocky start to the season, but as usual, you all came together. You all made some interesting moves, and I think you all have a very, very bright season, or bright future, I should say. But I would just say this, for a lot of the bigger guys, the 15s is pretty much done for them. We're going to have national things coming up. Keep your fitness levels up. Make sure you're still going and doing your training. The old boys run on a Wednesday night if you could just want to get some hands in. Always a good opportunity to come and just run out with us on a Wednesday night in King George. I think it's now called Nelson Mandela Park. So let's start with Harvard. First, and once again, I'd just like to say this. Odell put on a clinic in the front row with unbelievable scrummage work, good in open play, good defensively. I really would like Odell to eventually get an invite to a national training camp. I don't see what could be a bad move of having him involved, pushing the guys there, and I think he might surprise some people about what he could bring to the table. So that was epic work, Odell. Congratulations once again. 2, proof that Ballington is simply indispensable. Ballington, who was the top try scorer of the league this year, unfortunately got an injury. Early in the first half, he had a breakout and nothing, beat about 5 defenders, stiff arms about 4 of them, scored a try. He is a difference maker. He always put Harvard on the front foot when he gets it. And I would actually just say as well, of course, I'm talking about it, a few of our players on the national team have not gotten any game time this year. Bowler Silverthorne, who is the outside centre, and even our captain there, Kwashi. Quashie, unfortunately, with the police hasn't gotten a lot of reps in as well. So you're going to start to see players, even like Barlington, who you're just going to see it's going to get more competitive, more and more competitive with the back row. He might be an option there in the back line as well. Just interesting to see, because he's doing and having these performances against current national players as well. So he's bringing something special, either at fullback, outside centre. Very, very interesting to see. And when he got injured, that definitely was a turning point. Number 3, I'm going to talk about Dite jumping at number 2. Outstanding. He does it for the national team as well. Besides bringing it down, besides what he does. Now, I would just say Dite, of course, has had a good season at fly half. And I think for Harvard, they need that to make it work. But I would say, and I say not that I'm comparing myself whatsoever, but there's some people who just excel at loose forward because you have so much more freedom. You're allowed to work. You don't have to be involved in everything. And at fly half, you're so vital to set the line defensively and speak that sometimes it limits your ability to move how you want to and really get free. And I think Dite, he relishes in that role as a loose forward. So it is a little unfortunate, and I would like to see him there down in the future. Number 4, I'm actually going to big up another member of that starting front row for Harvard's, who's going to be the other prop, Delaney. He was very, very dominant as well. I mean, I have some clips there as well I took, and they absolutely shattered Northern. They were stealing put-ins, line-out work, stuff. I hope Delaney, not as involved as Odell in the open play. You don't really like your hand on the ball that much, but he did a lot right. And I think you're throwing the ball 1 or 2 times as well in the line-out, always down the centre, which is something Northern's really suffered with. Number 5, Greenwich at number 8. A lot of people have been trying to push Greenwich into the front row, and I definitely don't think that's where he excels. And when the ball is going forward, off those scrums or in open play, he's a big guy. He's very shifty as well. He makes things happen. Sometimes I think because, again, it's such a light season and guys haven't played together in so long, this season had a lot of combinations that we're just now trying out. We're all very, very rusty. So a few of his balls going out wide didn't really work out in this game, but you can see that he sees the intention. You see what he wants to create. When he does put his head down, he always gets that go forward momentum. So congratulations. It's really nice to see him. Another person I will say, interesting if he could get his fitness levels up. Could he be invited to a national camp and see what he could offer? I think so. I definitely think so. Number 6, I was incredibly surprised that, especially when Harvard's got some penalties in the Northern's half. Something that has shattered Northern's all season is their inability to get back on penalties. And for some reason, Harvard never did a quick tap. And a few times I thought that they could really, really have benefited just tapping, going forward, forcing the referee to make a decision about cards. I was surprised how much Dite and them wanted to slow it down. But, they had an incredible line out. I have a few clips of that as well, so congratulations for that. But I was very, very surprised that we didn't want to just get that go forward, just keep it going, put Northern's players, especially that pack that was really suffering at the start there, just put them under pressure. Number 7, I'm going to go with talking about some of the young players, Edmund and the winger as well. I'll put up his name there. Really did well defensively. You're going against national players from Northern. You have James Phillip running at you. You have Chris Pudi. You have Marcel. You have 2 of those wingers there. You have Warren, who is outstanding. You have Jareem George hitting you at fullback, and they really put their head up. They really did well. They didn't get a lot of chances offensively, but defensively for young players, I was very impressed with them. So congratulations, guys. Number 8, I thought Keston Earl, when he came on, he remains a very dangerous player in open field. He always seems to be in the right position as well defensively. So congratulations. Person I thought didn't get as much opportunity in the national camps that I would have thought, but I just wanted to big you up here. Well done, Earl. Number 9, I'll say Marsan. What I was talking about with Dite, where I think he excels more in an open field, as a loose forward role, because it allows him more freedom. Some people play better when they just have very, very straightforward, especially these younger players, okay? Have very clear guidelines. And when you ask Justin Marsan to run a crash or take it up hard and stuff, he is really, really, really good at that. Marsan, I think when he's playing centre and he just has to go straight, a few times, even in loose, just pick it up, go just straight, get that go forward, set that defensive line back. It really, really worked well. So I like Marsan in the centres. Some people disagree and pushing him there, but I'm seeing a lot of these young players going into the loose forward roles, and they get very, very lost as the phases start to continue. But again, they just need more game time, and unfortunately, that's the end of this season, and now we have to wait for next. Hopefully, maybe we could have some games during this off field or do something, because these guys they're just screaming for more game time. And number 10, I just want to say congratulations to Harvards as a club for their lineouts and scrums. They really were unbelievable of how dominant they were against a lot of Northern's players that I would have thought they would have set it a little better than that. Just unbelievable. Always again winning so much ball, stealing so much ball, and besides some insane effort and a few lucky bounces, Harvards in their set pieces, even with the kickoffs and stuff, just very, very, very well coached. So congratulations, guys. And I want to just say as well, very gracious in defeat, very frustrating. I think Harvards were coming in as the favourite in the game, and after the game everybody was shaking hands, whether they're upset or not, everybody was so gracious. So congratulations, you all are a class act, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you all bring to the table. So again, just a plea: if your season is done, you're not going to be involved in the sevens, do not just say goodbye, do not just stop training. They have national camps coming up. Keep your head pushing, come at least a little touch on a Wednesday, do something, even if you have some questions and stuff for the older guys, you're playing touch with fellas like Staggy, Anderson, Joseph is there, you have Guerra, you have Kelson, you have all these guys, this wealth of knowledge, Trinidad rugby legends. They are there, you have questions, talk, they are so happy to help and interject, especially after the game. So just some thoughts there. Let's move on to Northerns now. So Northerns struggles in the lineouts continue, and scrums, unfortunately. We just can't seem to even just throw it down the line straight in our lineout. We are suffering. We need to put in some serious work. There's 2 weeks now. We have Bruno Brown this week, and we have the knockout final in 2 weeks. I think it's just, look, Tuesday and Thursday, guys, we might have to have like a special training session to say, guys, let's just meet up and for the next 2 hours, just do nothing but lineouts, scrums, do options, get everybody on the same page, because we have zero chance in a Bruno Brown if we give away that much possession. And even with the kickoffs, everything was trying to be short, but it's so dangerous if you don't go the distance, you don't go the 10. They have this scrum in the middle, and it is so hard to defend. It's just so risky. It's just not worth it. That's just my opinion. Number 2, JJ and Ade in the second row brought some power in open play. Excellent work. Unfortunately, I've just said we were forcing a lot of guys who are very, very green in the second row, get a little bit lost, but sometimes you just have guys who, when they have the ball in the hand, they straighten, they do the right thing. JJ is one of those athletic freaks who gets the ball. He broke the line a few times, making big hits, doing all that. Ade, you're doing your power work there. If a guy lines up right, you will put in a big hit. I thought that was a great combination at lock. I think when Big Marcus Bassessa comes back, maybe Ade will push on to the bench. He's a little bit longer in the tooth, and maybe in the last 20 minutes Ade could come on and just finish the game. But if you have a Mark Bassessa who could secure that scrum, and you have JJ in open play, that would be excellent. One little criticism, and again, it's all about just youth and inexperience. JJ, sometimes a lot of players don't know all the rules. So if there's a knock on, you don't just stand up and say, oh God, all right, well, we're going to scrum. It is now advantage to the other team. You have to drop on it. You have to stop until the referee blows. And that happened a few times where guys just switch off. They knock on and they think the play is done. It is on. It is live. Do not stop. Okay. Number 3, Jesse Richards looked absolutely amazing. Scored 3 tries. I know his knees were giving him a little bit of pressure, but he came on. He put in a hell of a shift. His pick and goals, his work off the base. One thing I will just say, and again, it's because we don't have a team of 3. A lot of times Harvard got the shove on, were pushing, were getting that drive, and Jesse was breaking way early. And a few times, about 5 times, he could have called to say, of leaving the scrum early, and it should be advantage to Harvard's. And I don't think that's going to happen again in the future. So just be very careful of that, Jesse. Number 4, James Phillip at fly half. Unreal performance. He just kept it so simple. And when you're that athletic and you have the ability with ball in hand, he's just straight and he just takes it up, and the defenders have to set on him because they know that he's strong enough to break tackles. They know that if he shifts his weight and accelerates, he could be right through. So first center, 8-man, fly off, everybody's just static. He could offload the ball to Marcel. No long passes, no miss one, no all this nonsense. Just hard. You have to honor me as a defender. One off hands to Marcel, who was also incredible there. Just simple, simple, simple options. At the end, he tried to get a little cheeky with kicks and stuff like that. That didn't work. But when he played it simple, outstanding effort. 5, I just want to say the subs made the difference from Northerns, and I'm going to call a few of the players. Christian Leonard, who came on, secured, this young boy, secured the scrum, started to throw in, was going straight at the lineouts. Excellent work. Kajaro, exceptional in open play. I'm just talking about guys who want their hands on the ball, always making go forward, always making it live for their team. Excellent work. Bonas, his energy came on for Jonathan. Jonathan from Rainbow had wonderful game, excellent. Bonus brings his energy, this tempo, looks around, sees when it's free, and he fringes. And he's only going to improve with the time. He's another player, just like I'm talking about JJ, just like I'm talking about Edmond. A lot of problems Bonus has with his passing from the base is that he's having trouble realizing when the ball is truly out. So a lot of times he sets at the base, he's looking, his hands on the ball, and our offensive player moves their foot and the ball is out, but he doesn't realize that it's out sometimes. So all of a sudden he's under all this pressure and he has to give this kind of little ball. But all that only is going to come over time. And last one, I'm going to say Matthias Matthews, who came on as proper as well, looked really good and did a lot of stuff right. He actually helped with one of the last tries at the end. I'm going to talk about JP coming on. Mick made a change there. The second row took off Ade, who looked absolutely spent, but he brought on JJ. JJ, your role as a sub player in that position where you're leading is just to secure, make sure, get that energy going forward, to just do a crossfield cover where you just throw your body randomly, give away not only a penalty but a yellow card. It's just that kind of stuff is going to keep you off the first team. I've been saying it for so long. All this energy, all this talent, and you just waste it with nonsense, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing actually with Jonathan Stewart, who did a lot right all day, a lot right. But sometimes in his cover work, he sprints so hard up, and instead of just right before contact, just giving that half foot on the brakes just to hold up and make sure he could think, he just sprints past the person, just does like a half step, and he just bypasses it, and it's just a free run for the offense. Be smart, guys. Be smart in these kind of situations. Number 6, I'm going to talk about Warren and Jareem are starting to really come in this team, and they're looking great. I know Warren is frustrated where he's not getting his hand on the ball so much, but he just does so much work defensively. Outstanding. And Jareem, one chance, one try. What more could you want, Number 7, Marcellus again is showing his quality as an inside center. So good in contact, so fast. Chris looked very safe and intelligent as outside center. Exactly what you need. Just so much talking. That outside channel, so important. Have that talk. Getting guys organized and stuff like that. Excellent work. Excellent work. Number 8, Jonathan Alain. Unbelievable around the breakdown. 2 fringe tries there, just pick and go, keeping it simple, talking at the base of the scrum, again just showing the experience when the ball is lost, where position wise, when you're drifting out, what channel you have to protect. Excellent, Jonathan Alain. And number 9, again, I'm just saying, I think what happened with Northern this year is, you think you get buys and it's a good thing, but they didn't. They got buys against police and defense force, and you lose that ability to try combinations, get comfortable together. So Northerns are extremely raw, and they're playing extremely raw. And we have a bunch of guys that unfortunately missed more games because there was a wedding. Congratulations, Nigel Lobo. But we are going to have a very, very raw side, and we're going to have to do a lot of work in training to simulate, okay? But it's all going to come down to lineouts, scrums, and when you get a penalty, getting back, so you avoid these quick taps where we're just doing crap on defense. But excellent work defensively, a million times better. Talking about that as well, talking about talent when sometimes we're misusing energy. Andrew Quash, who's the other winger, so much talent, so much skill, but negative energy. Your player, somebody makes a knock on, somebody misses, screaming at the person, insulting the other team when you win. Just calm down. Your time has come. You have no reason to get enemies at this stage, okay? So especially with that, Delaney waiting in the wings and stuff like that, you don't want to give the coach an opportunity to push you off because of indiscretion with attitude, okay? So we have Delaney coming back, we have Mark coming back, we have Kyle and Wendell coming back. You have lots of people come in. Should be a very competitive week. So who were the players of the games? It's actually hard because there's so many guys I could have called, but I'm going to start with Harvard at number 5. I'm giving it to Ballington. Incredible. You're on the field for like less than a half, and I still have to call your name. You're just exceptional. Your try was unbelievable. Defensive work, you were missed, and I think honestly that was the difference in the two teams. Number 4, Edmund George, young Edmund George, and the winger as well. Y'all are really putting your heart there. You're still very raw in the game, but in terms of heart, y'all are second to none. Number 3, Brandon Griddage. I was talking about him there. Looked great at number 8. Needs to get your fitness up a little bit, Brandon. You know that. No criticism. Sometimes, you thought that it was on and you threw a pass, but if you're other players, it's not on. Unfortunately, you just got to go with the option that's on and just bury your head. But I think you had a special game. Number 2, Shaquille Dyke, captain, incredible. Well done, Shaquille. A very frustrating day at the office. I think Northern's were very smart to line you up against James Phillip to try to shut you down. You need that athleticism. You bring too much, you can't risk not having somebody with your athletic capabilities on you. And I think, again, you're very limited with your ability to move around the field. Sometimes you're almost trapped in your position at 10 because you have to coordinate so much defensively. And number 1, again, outstanding was Odell. The scrums, the lineouts, the open field, just getting the ball, securing it, and making some big hits as well. Brother, you get your fitness up, and I really don't see why you can't wear the national jersey one day, or at least put so much pressure on guys. You're going to just make that team so much better. Bring yourself. So please continue to push yourself. That's all I'll ask. Now on to the winning team for their players. Again, tons of guys are going to call, but I'm going to start at number 5, Jareem George. I actually look a lot of times in the past, and I'm saying it with like Andrew Crush with the attitude. You gave an impression of frustration. You would throw your hands up. I remember there was one sevens tournament. You were so frustrated. You could really see it. You almost took off your jersey. And you've just calmed down. You just play the game. You're so encouraging. And when you get your chance, you always finish. Defensively, you're looking sharp. There's no more young boy kind of too fresh for the team. You're talented, but you really are just starting to play into the pattern. And it's very, very exciting to see where it could go. As the other players around you start to feel more comfortable too. Number 4, Marcellus McCarty. Simple, hard. Always encourage James with these simple options. Just say, James, just draw and pass, Defenders can't seem to bring you down with one-handed tackles, and defensively you were playing much better as well, so congratulations on that. Number 3, score 3 tries, but I'm still putting you at number 3, Jesse Richards. Incredible. I'm just telling you again, defensively, doing all these things right, but if you're breaking from the scrum when the ball is not out like that, another referee is going to absolutely slaughter you with penalties. Did so much good work. Excellent. You could be very proud of yourself. Number 2 is JJ. This man is a talent. Listen to me. He has a lot to learn in the game, but you cannot just have guys learn to be hard and want to get the ball and slam it up and put in big hits, and he has all the athletic capabilities. So JJ, please just keep your head and keep working hard. And at number 1, I thought James Phillip made all the difference at fly half. Just simple, straight, talking, power, force the defense to honor him. It was what we needed, and it allowed, of course, Chris was able to still do all the kicking and stuff, but just a simple option at 10 defensively and on offense. So congratulations, guys. Lots to look forward to the next week. I just want to say congratulations to Harvards again for really pulling back this season. Looking forward to seeing you all at the sevens, and I'll be doing a review of the other game. We know that it is Royalians, so next week is going to be Northerns against Caribs in the Bruno Brown. The following week we are going to have the final. It's going to be Royalians versus Northerns for the Knockout Cup winner. So see you all then. Hope you all could give me your comments, and I appreciate everything. Thanks, guys. Bye.